I lost my first $8,000 copywriting client, and today I want to share with you the lesson that I got from this. Because when I first got, let's see, this is the story. So there was this client, 500K per month, premium client, insane. I already hopped on 2 sales calls, and they were pretty sold, bro. I had talked to his team, I had talked to everyone. They wanted to start yesterday. It was this funnel that we're gonna do. It was a few webinar, not a webinar script, it was a few webinar emails. Then was the upsell emails, and then it was a fucking landing page or something. It was a landing page and a sales page. They were sold. I told them $8,000, they were sold. And that's why you only wanna charge, you only wanna work with premium clients. If you're not making at least 7 to 8 figures per year, they're not a client, they're not a good client. So, we get on the calls, they're very sold, and then we're just one call away. Actually, let me get a little bit back to you. It was when I was about to close this deal, I was so stoked, man. I remember telling my family about this deal. I remember thinking about all the things I'm gonna buy. I was like, oh, now I'm gonna buy a MacBook, and I'm gonna buy this phone, I'm gonna buy this camera, and I'm gonna book this hotel. It was pretty insane. And when I did the close that client, it was fucking depressing. So if I were to give you one tip, just on a side note, it's to, if the money isn't in your bank account, it's not yours yet. So don't start thinking about all the things you're gonna buy right after you pitch them. Because just because you pitch them and they said yes, it's not a closed deal. The money needs to be in your bank account first. And even then they can request a refund. So even then it's not your money. It's insane. So yeah. So let me get back to you on the story. So we were about to hop on the last call with a founder. He was about to ask me the last couple of questions, and then he would pay me the first 4K. I would do the project, and then at the end they would pay me the last 4K. And so he asked me something that literally made my brain freeze. I literally remember feeling goosebumps when I was on the call. It was like my blood instantly froze, and I had adrenaline popping everywhere. And I was like, what do I do now? And it was because he asked me about something that I didn't know. He was like, do you know how to do these email workflows? And when he told me this, I fucking froze. I had never done this before. I was so good at copy, I had written copy for clients before, but I had never set up automations on an email, on an ESP. I had never done that. And so it was really difficult for me. And I was like, yeah, I've done that. I know how to do this. I literally was stumbling or mumbling, whatever it's called. When I was saying this, I was like, yeah, I know how to do it. I was exactly like this. And when I told him that, are you sure? He was like, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, sure. Don't worry. I'm definitely gonna find a way. Don't worry. And this happened because of another principle I want to share with you. Whatever you feel, the client feels. So if you don't feel confident enough, the client is gonna feel that. There's nothing you can do to control it. Well, however you feel, the other person will feel. So that's the same thing when it comes to approaching girls. So somebody might approach a girl and he's very shy, he's this, he's that, and the girl is gonna sense that, and it's gonna be not triggered, but you get the point. While another guy might be very confident, and the girl is gonna feel that. It's the same fucking way. It's the same way with clients. It's the same way with talking to people. The best way to get somebody to feel a certain way is to feel that way too. So yeah. And so the lesson I wanted to give you about this from the client I lost, the $8,000 client I lost, is to trust yourself to figure it out on the way. So you should have absolute confidence in yourself that you can do everything. It doesn't matter if it's workflows, it doesn't matter if it's writing a VSL if you never written one, it doesn't matter if it's about running ads and writing ads if you've never done them. You need to have conviction. Just like I'm speaking now, you need to have conviction. If you don't have conviction, nobody's gonna believe you. And if you have conviction, it doesn't matter if you actually have experience. They're not gonna actually pay attention to that. They're gonna pay attention to that. Okay, maybe they're gonna say, show me some work. Actually, if you have conviction, if you sound like, okay, not a big deal, they're not even gonna ask you for stuff. They're not even gonna ask you for stuff. That's what's happening to my students. Okay, my students, it's not the only thing they do. They frame themselves as the expert. And when they hop on the call, they don't get the objections like, who have you worked with? Or do you have any experience doing this? And even if they do get these objections, we have this thing we call in the mentorship, we call it the Orestes effect. And it's because every time they get this type of objection, they mention me. They drop my name. They're like, okay, I'm being mentored by someone who's working with 7-8-figure clients and he's gonna be reviewing all my copy. And when they do this, they close clients. Like I haven't had a single student who said that on a call and they didn't close the deal. That's how powerful this is. That's how powerful having a mentor is. But anyway, so yeah, this is the lesson I wanted to share with you about the $8,000 corporate client I lost. So if you ever get in this type of situation where they tell you, do you know how to do this? You've never done this before, just say yes, bro. Just say yes and then go to somebody and ask him how to do it. That's literally it. Like if you don't know how to make automations, bro, just go to Fiverr, pay somebody $50 from the Philippines and he'll do this for you. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So don't sacrifice, what's it called? What's the expression called? It's like, don't sacrifice the kingdom for a pot of gold. Yeah, but I don't know how this relates here, but anyway, who cares? Who cares? You get the point. So anyway, this is what I want to share with you in this video. Hope you got some value. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you.
Love you too.